Entrepreneurship is the best game in the world if you understand the system that we live under, the structure. If you understand the framework of the country that you live in. For example, I live in the United States. The framework that our system was built upon is called capitalism. Now, schools don't teach this. They don't teach capitalism. You know why? Because schools, they train employees to go work for corporations, and they're funded by corporations and the government. So those employees can be exploited at some point. So corporations, they basically buy employees wholesale, and they sell them retail on the open market. It's totally legal, by the way, okay? Let me tell you why it's legal. Going back 300 or 400 years ago, when slavery was considered illegal, and that's where you actually hold a man or a woman against their will and make them work for you, and you have this abundant life, and they end up living in the back house, outhouse, no house. They get the worst health care. They get the scraps off your table. They're literally slaves, okay, and they're held against their will physically. Well, somewhere between 1863, 1864, during the Emancipation Proclamation that was signed by Abraham Lincoln, a Republican, by the way, not that I'm getting political on you, okay, but Abraham Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves, was a Republican. But I want you to understand something. The game was written like this. The Bible says the borrower is a slave to the lender. And what the former slave owners figured out is that we got to stop holding people physically and start holding people financially. So they invented a card called the MasterCard, because when you swipe it, you enslave your future. You enslave your family. You enslave yourself. And there is no chains on your hands. There's no chains on your necks. The chain is now on your wallet, and the chain is on your brain. Schools put chains on your brains, tell you what you can't do. They always tell you what you cannot do. When you were actually in kindergarten, you were told by your teachers that you could do anything. You know, when you were 4 and 5 years old, you were told what? Hey, what do you want to be, Johnny? I want to be an astronaut. You could do that. Write that down. You know, here's some crayons. Draw a picture of what you want to be. And your kid came home from the first day of school with a picture, and you put it on the refrigerator. And he drew out the white picket fence, and he drew a picture of mommy and daddy and the dog and the house and his little brother and little sister, right? And he draws a picture of him being an astronaut or him being a doctor or a ball player or a businessman. And that was fine. But once he reaches 6 or 7, and he goes into first grade and beyond, they now start basically unprogramming what God has done and start reprogramming them and tell them what they cannot do. But I'm here to tell you, I work with more adults that come to me, okay, and I'm talking about in the thousands, that have low self-esteem. They don't believe in themselves. And I go, where'd that come from? Like, why would you sit in front of me and say, I don't think I could do this? But then you go to a job and you tell the interviewer or the supervisor that what? I'm a team player. I'm a quick learner. I could do anything. I have time integrity. You know, if you just give me a shot. But you don't tell the boss, I don't think I could do that. You don't tell the interviewer, because you know that's stupid. Why would you say something like that, right? So for $8 an hour, for $15, $20, $30 an hour, you know how to act in front of the boss. But when someone says, hey, you're talking about being your own boss? Oh, that's not for me. I don't think I could do that. You got to be a people person. Oh, by the way, what are you, a dog person? Hey, cats hang out with cats. Dogs hang out with dogs. When a person, I'm not a people person, what the hell are you going to do with your life? You're on planet Earth with a bunch of people. Did you discover that? I'm not a good salesperson. You know? Oh, how about this one? This is the worst one of all. Well, you got to be a little bit shiesty to own your own business, you know? Where'd you get that from? That is not true. Do you understand the job you have right now, or the job you're trying to get? That job was created by some entrepreneur that took risks. If your boss thought the way you thought, you wouldn't have a job tomorrow. If your boss said, you know what, you're right. I'm not going to take risks. You're right. I'm going to go close this business down, and I'm going to find me a job because I want benefits. I want a guaranteed paycheck every 2 weeks. If your boss thought like you wouldn't have a job. So it's amazing that you don't want to take risks, but you work for a man or a woman or an institution that's taking risks every day. See, folks, the definition of entrepreneurship is what? Taking risks daily. Calculated risks, of course. I don't mean something stupid, but when you actually go out there and say, you know what? I could potentially lose my life savings in this business, but I'm willing to take the chance. Why? Because I'm going to die anyways. It doesn't matter. None of this stuff goes with me. Yeah, I'm sitting here in a $400,000 car. You know, when I pass away, if I have this car, which I probably won't, but if I have this vehicle, you know what my kids are going to do? They're going to put it on the front grass and put a little sign that says, what, best offer, right? Whoever comes around with the right money going to take the car. You know what my kids want to keep? Pictures. People fight over pictures. You ever notice that? You ever see somebody's house get burned down or affected by a storm or a hurricane or an earthquake or a fire or a flood? And you see those families when they go back to the rubbish where their house is just basically gone, it's splinters, and they're crying when they see a picture. They go, oh my God, there's a picture. And they want the pictures. They want the memories, folks. People don't want this material stuff. Yeah, I wear custom clothes, and yeah, I drive a nice car, and yes, I live in a nice neighborhood, but that don't make me. See, that's just how I keep score. That's just me rewarding myself for the hard work I put in, okay? But I can tell you this. Thousands of people are benefiting from the fact that I like nice stuff. Because I can't get nice stuff unless I offer a service. Get it? I can't have the lifestyle I have unless I offer a product or a service that's beneficial to somebody. And because I have more people that are benefiting from my services, I have more what? I have more money in my account. That's all that means. So when you work for somebody else, you're never going to be paid your worth. You can go give everything. I was a paramedic for 5 years. I saved lives. I've delivered babies. You name it. I've done it all in that particular field. You know, I watched people die in my hands. I've done CPR several times on people. And guess what, folks? $5.90 an hour was the max I was paid when I left that field 1988 to go into my own business. So, folks, what I didn't match the pay. But I knew what? You're not the owner, Gary. The owner dictates your pay. Don't hate the player or the game. Go become that person. And I want you to understand, as an entrepreneur, the system is designed to benefit you. So here it is, okay? It's capitalism, right? I hope this light won't go off on me again. If not, I'll just turn it back on, okay? But here it is. Here's the system, right? The United States government is funded by tax dollars. So you wrote that down? The United States government, who regulates what? The economy, is funded by tax dollars. It is not a private entity. It is a public entity. Now, the United States government, contrary to what you believe, is actually you. It's not the president. It's not Congress. It's not the House of Representatives. You understand it? It's not the lawmakers. The government is you because you put these people in the office. Your votes put them in the office. And yes, I know money buys votes today. I understand that. But I want you to understand something. The United States government, in my opinion, is the best system in the world. There's three systems. There's socialism, there's communism, and there's capitalism. And the United States government works on the lesser of the three evils, which is capitalism. And we have a little bit of the dictatorship, okay? I think that's important to have control and order. We also have a little bit of that socialism. I'm a little concerned about that one because that's where you actually take the A students and you give their grade to the D students because the D students weren't disciplined. That's stupid to me, okay? We're not going to get into that, okay? But I do want to tell you this. Understand the system. The United States government is what? Structured and paid for by tax dollars. The next thing to understand is where do we get tax dollars from? Well, the easiest and the quickest way to get tax dollars is through payroll taxes. So the government over here is going to partner up with the entrepreneur, you, and they're going to give you all these tax breaks because they know if they give you tax breaks, you're going to take those tax breaks and grow your business. And when you grow your business, you're going to now take those tax breaks and hire more people. See how that works? Making your business more efficient, making your business more competitive in the marketplace, and giving you all these subsidies so you as the entrepreneur can have a better life because if they give you more money, you can employ more people. You might be thinking, why would they do that? Well, here's the game. If I employ one person, there's only payroll taxes coming from that one employee. And payroll taxes fund what? The system. And that's just one thing. We'll cover more in a second, okay? But also, too, if I employ 50 employees, the government can what? Tax those 50 employees. See that? They don't want my one check from my income. If I make $10 million a year in my own business, you think they would hit me the hardest. No, they're not going to hit me. They're going to hit my 3,000 employees. Okay, why? Because my 3,000 employees are going to pay taxes every week, every 2 weeks. And the government says, Gary, you are what? The owner. We would like for you to take out of Joe's paycheck before he gets his hands on it, because we don't trust the employee. He's a liability to the system. He's not an asset. Take out his paycheck through payroll taxes and hold that money in your account for a complete year. You get all the interest on it. At the end of the year, you can pay the payroll taxes. So, for example, if I hire you and you work for me and I pay you $1,000 a week, and let's say you're in a 35% tax bracket, okay? I'm going to deduct $350 from your check. It's not the government. It's me. I'm taking $350 out of your check. You're going to take home $750 to your wife and your kids. I'm going to keep the $350 in my account because I don't have to send it to the end of the year. And it's going to draw interest in my account. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to send your $350 times how many checks I gave you throughout the year. There's 52 weeks in a year. So I'm taking $350 times 52 weeks in a year, and I send that to the IRS. Now, I provide you with health care. I provide you with maybe a business expense account. I provide you with a lot of different things. But did you know at the end of the year, the IRS says, Gary, can you show me basically a P&L, profit and loss sheet, where the $1 million that your company made or the $10 million, can you show me that you spent that back into the business? And when I show the IRS that I actually made $10 million, but I put 900 or 9 million, should I say, of the 10 million into the business, the IRS says that you don't pay taxes on that 10 million. You only pay taxes on the million. Okay? Now watch this. But what if I decide to employ my kids? What if I decide to take my daughter and make her an employee of my company and then give my daughter a scholarship funded by the company so she could further her education? Would her education be a tax write-off? Interesting. What if I decide to employ my son and give my son a company car like your company does? Would that car be a tax write-off? It's not his car. It's a company car. His boss happens to be his dad. What if I employ my wife and we go out to dinner tonight and we talk about our biz, which we do all the time? Would that dinner be a write-off? I am having a meeting with my business partner who happens to be my wife. See, folks, when you understand how the government works, it's not to punish the entrepreneurs. They want you to be rich because they know you get rich, you do what? Like, for example, I'm in this big car here. There's luxury taxes. You know, when you live in a bigger house, you have bigger property taxes, which funds the schools, by the way. Okay? So the government wants you to be rich. They want you to become successful, and the rules are made to benefit the entrepreneur. And if you understand the tip I just gave you, you will become an entrepreneur. Now, here it is, okay? Here's some bad news. After I took out your check $350, and you took home $750 to your spouse, assuming I paid you $1,000 a week gross, after I took out of your check, you take the $750, and your wife calls and says, honey, on the way home, can you please fill up the car for work tomorrow with gasoline? You stop by the gas station, and you pump $50 into your tank. Did you pay attention to the actual price of the gas? Because guess what? There's also what? Fuel taxes, again, that you have to pay. Now, mind you, you already paid taxes before I gave you your check. Your wife said, honey, by the way, fill up the gas tank. Also, stop by Walgreens because we're out of toilet paper. You know, we're out of Pampers for the kids. Well, guess what? There's sales tax. So now think about this. You've been taxed twice already, not including the tax I took out off the top. You come home, your wife says, honey, what do you have left? Well, baby, I stopped by Walmart. I also stopped by the gas station. I got some gas as well. It's okay, great. Give me the checks. So you give your wife what's left over. Let's say you have left over $690, all right, after you put gas in the car and stop by and get some toilet paper. Your wife takes the $600 and says, okay, honey, it's time to pay the bills. So now she pays your cell phone bill, right? She pays your electric bill, your gas bill, and your home phone bill, and your cable TV bill, right? Because bills have to be paid. Look at the bill, folks. There's utility taxes on the same exact bill. You've been taxed again. That's your 5th tax. Then go on. Your wife says, honey, okay, it's time to pay the mortgage, right? Guess what? You have property taxes embedded into your mortgage. You just paid taxes 6 times. Folks, you say, well, I'm starting saving money. I want to send my kids to college. I'm going to put money in investment, which I think you should do that. But guess what? There's capital gain taxes. Because you put in $50 a month, you're a junior to go to college, and all of a sudden $50 a month, $600 a year, you make a profit of 10%. Let's say you have a profit of $60 on your $600. Well, that's what? That's a capital gains. You pay taxes on that $60. Folks, what I'm telling you is the biggest pimp game in the world. Okay, I know I used a really tough word there. The biggest pimp game in the world is an employee. That's right, folks. Slavery is still alive. Slavery is still going. As a matter of fact, it's now even better because why? No one is thinking it's slavery. It's called debt. It's called debt. And it's not based on skin color anymore. I do believe there is some racism that still exists. We see it all the time. But folks, there's classism. You understand that? There's classism. Think about this, folks. During the Great Depression, so what, 6-7 years ago, in 2000, it started in 2007. Okay, so actually 6-7 years ago, when the Great Depression hit the world, for that matter, if you wanted to get out of your loan on your home, if you wanted to modify that loan and lower your interest rate and lower your payment so you can keep your house, did you know that you have to claim broke? There was no plan from the government to help out the people in the middle. See, we have systems to help our poor. Our poorest people in the United States are some of the richest people in the world because 50% of the world lives on $1 a day. 50% of the world makes $365 a year. So our poorest person gets Section 8. I have an actual client, okay, or tenant, if I can use that word, that stays in one of my properties, okay? The rent on that property is $1,300 a month. She only has to give me $110. That's it. And she has a 3-bedroom house. So we have systems to help the poor. Section 8, food stamps, all types of subsidies. Their kids get to go to college basically for free because tax dollars pay for those people. Then you have the wealthy 1%. They don't need our money, right? Because they're the ones that create the money supply and they control it. But then you got that middle class and that lower middle class. We call that the working poor. The working poor. What a title. You get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, to get back home at 7 o'clock at night. And at the end of the month, you have more month left at the end of your money. Folks, I'm not saying go be poor. I'm saying find a way to get rich. Find a way to get rich. Find a way to get wealthy. That's all I'm telling you. And in this country, you could do it. But you got to change your thinking. Stop listening to broke people. Rule number 1, never listen to anyone who's more messed up than you. And I don't care if it's your parents. I'm sorry to say that. Okay? But if they knew how to be better off, they'd be better off. Nobody wants to be broke. Even though you hear people say that, money's not everything. Oh, yeah, give me yours. Why are you always asking for it? Why are you always complaining about it? And money is not everything. But it's right there next to air. Right? You ever lost some money? You ever misplaced some money? It could be $5. What happens to your energy? Does it go up or does it go down? Do you get a little angry, upset, frustrated? You lost $10. Do you go, it's just $10. You do what? You tear the house up for that. Folks, I dropped a quarter on the side of my seat one time, and I had to pull over. I'm looking for that quarter. You know what I'm talking about. I want that quarter. So what I'm telling you is money is not everything. It's just how we keep score. So my advice to you in the last 25 minutes, go start your own business, okay? Don't quit your job, okay? Do what you got to do. Get that paycheck, and then take that paycheck and fund your own business. America wants you to be an entrepreneur. We're getting our butts kicked right now by China. Because why? We have no entrepreneurs. Schools have beat up entrepreneurs. Schools have talked down about entrepreneurship. School teachers are telling kids, go to school, get an education, get a good job. But you can't get a good job if there's no job. You be telling kids, go to school, get an education, start your own business. Whatever happened to that? That's what made this country great. Somehow we got off track. So do what you need to do. You're going to make it happen. I'm here to help you. You're not going to fail. You're not going to fail. I will not let you fail. I'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded, baby. It's too crowded. Let's go. We can make this happen. Our family is dependent on us. Our country needs us. The next generation needs us to win. Go freaking win. And stop following me on Facebook if you ain't going to follow my directions. Go win. Stop making excuses about your skin color, your lack of education, your financial situation. Stop using God as an excuse. God has nothing to do with broke. He has nothing to do with struggling. He don't condone it. There's nowhere in the Bible where he says you have to be broke. Mother Teresa, one of the most meekest women on planet Earth, was known for being around the poor and living amongst the poor and spending time with the disenfranchised and work with the sick and the needy and the shut-in. When she died, she was worth $500 million, and Mother Teresa had her own jet, and she had people working for her on payroll. Get that out of your head that you have to be poor to be a Christian. There's nothing in the Bible that says that. If there's any pastor, priest, or any spiritual leader, call me up and tell me where in the Bible it says it's okay to be broke. It's not okay to be broke. You understand when you're broke, you're vulnerable, you take shortcuts. The most honest person starts thinking about stealing and cheating on their taxes. See, folks, you can win. Go win. You could do this. Call me if you want to win. Facebook me if you want to win. We'll find a way to make it happen, okay? I love you, and I'll see you at the top. God bless you. Bye-bye.